Hello, Year 12. So welcome to our second coursework lesson, and today we're going to be thinking about the other option that's available to you, which is magazines. So in our last lesson we looked at websites. Today we're going to focus on magazines. And what we're going to be thinking about is what makes an effective magazine, first of all, with an eye on thinking about how you guys can eventually, if you choose to, make your own. So as you'll see here, this is the brief for the magazine part of the coursework production, the cross-media production. And the only thing that we really need to focus here at this particular time is this middle column here, where it says create a front cover and double page spread feature article for a new specialist music or culture magazine to promote your artist or band to the target audience. So what they're basically asking you to do is to create a magazine front cover and double page spread, and we'll talk about what those are in a moment, which promotes your artist. So your artist will be featured on that front page and in the double page spread, and this particular magazine will be focused on the particular genre or kind of music which you guys are going to do for your chosen artist. So we have looked at magazines before. We did a whole topic on women's magazines in the 1960s. So you guys will be really familiar with the things that I'm about to show you here. So first of all, what would you expect to find on the front cover of a magazine? Well, I've got an example here of Vibe magazine, which is a music magazine which focuses on urban music. And all of these terms down the left-hand side, I hope are really familiar to you. So first of all, a masthead. We know what a masthead is. It's that bit at the top of the page which tells you the name of the magazine, essentially. And mastheads tend to be branded in whatever way the particular magazine chooses to. So Vibe magazine, you can see here, has got quite a bold, bright masthead, really kind of like signaling its status and its identity. A main image, obviously, we can tell what that is, and here we can see the main image. Cover lines are the things which tell you what kind of things are inside. So here we've got a range of cover lines telling us who's featuring the magazine, what kind of features there are. We've got some quotes on there as well. The dateline very simply tells you when a magazine's coming out, which is normally monthly. Taglines are slogans that magazines have. This actual magazine doesn't really have a tagline on it, so it's not a very good example. But a tagline is a slogan that a magazine might have. Typography is the style of writing. So as we can see in this one here, we've got a particular style of writing which they've used. Again, very kind of clean, simple colours as well, the red and white. Mise-en-scène, we know what mise-en-scène is, and we can talk about hair, costume, makeup, setting, etc. Colour schemes, we can see this very masculine red, white and blue here. The placement and positioning of the image, but also the cover lines and masthead are really important. The style of language which is used is important. Obviously, signs and semiotics we know about, denotation and connotation, so what meanings are created. And then finally, narrative. So does the image of the front cover tell a particular story? And I think in this particular case here, there's a really strong sense of narrative here about this particular artist and what kind of meaning is trying to be created about him. So on to double page spreads. And double page spreads, if you don't know, are these. So in a particular magazine, you'll get a feature which will go across 2 pages, hence being called a double page spread. And they will normally be, in our particular context, there'll be interviews. So here we have a particular artist here, and we've got some kind of quotes, and then we've got some columns here which tell us all about the particular questions which are being asked on this occasion. It's really important actually to note at this stage this kind of column look. Most double page spreads tend to feature columns for the writing which they use. So here we've got another example. I'm just going to go through some keywords for double page spreads as well. So the first one we've got here is the title or the headline, which again is really obvious. We can see here it's the gospel according to Nicki Minaj, and that's really important for letting the audience know what the article is going to be about, but also kind of tells you a little bit of narrative there as well. A stand first or kicker is a little bit here, which basically sums up what's going to be in this article. It's a small paragraph and it sums up what's going to be in the article. Pull quotes are individual quotes which are taken from the interview and are made bold and made a really big feature of. So as we can see here, we've got the one which talks about Nicki Minaj and her kind of controversy. So it says, I really toned down the sexual stuff. There was no need for me to do it. So she kind of talks about the fact that in the past she might have been over-sexualizing herself, but she wanted to tone it down a little bit. Body copy. So copy is the technical term that we use for any writing which features in a double page spread or in a magazine. And in this particular instance, as we can see again, the body copy is laid out in columns, and those columns are really important, as I said, for double page spreads. Captions are little things which tell you what an image is about. This actual image doesn't have a caption, but if you had an image there that was maybe set in a particular place, then the caption might say Nicki Minaj, Hollywood 2017, something along those lines. So what I'm going to ask you to do today is two tasks. The first one is to research a front cover. So I'd like you to try to find a front cover for a specialized music or culture magazine. So try to find one if for example, you were doing hip hop, so a hip hop magazine, or like a hip hop culture magazine, or just an urban culture magazine would be absolutely fine. Make a list of all the features that it includes, and this includes denotation and connotation. And you can use the keywords which I showed you a moment ago. How does it look? What design and layout features do you notice? Which are the most effective? Which could be done better? Does it synergize with other content? What features on it are distinctly specialized? After you've done that, I would then like you to do the same, but this time for a double page spread. So I'd like you to try and find a double page spread. Ideally, it would be from the same magazine that you did for your front cover, but if you can't find one for that, then that's okay. And same thing, make a list of the features. How does it look? What things are most effective? What could be done better? Does it synergize with their other content? And then finally, what features on it are distinctly specialized? So your two tasks for submissions today. First one is a front cover research task, and then the second one is the double page spread research task. If you have any questions, then I will, of course, as ever, be live on Teams for the duration of this hour. Good luck, guys. I hope you enjoyed doing your research.